back up now, I think. I believe we're back up now.
The fall of 1855 saw the founding of the annual Van Wert County Fair. Earlier that same year, a local newspaper had pushed the Agricultural Society to host a fair promoting area farm development. Despite public demand, the first fair was humbling. The one-day event had one horse, few poultry, a pig, two cows, and just some artwork to exhibit. However, by 1857, the fair had become so competitive that land was purchased to keep up with expansion. For only $187, the Van Wert County Fair finally had a permanent home. In 2 decades, the fair had extended to 3 days, and admission was increased to 25 cents per person. A saloon, Wheel of Fortune, dance floor, and racetrack had all been added to the grounds. A $20 purse was given to the fastest trotter of the day. Today, the Van Wert County Fair is a member of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference. They host 2 days of live-action harness racing and include a leg of the Spring Haven Farm Ladies Driving Series.
We're back up now, so.
All righty.
The roots of harness racing are born at the county fairs. For over 150 years, people have gathered to watch horses battle it out for fame and glory. Catch the thrills this summer at an Ohio Fair Racing Conference County Fair. The OFRC races at 21 fairs in 19 Ohio counties. Trotters and pacers put it all on the line to be called the best in the Buckeye State. The Ohio Racing Conference, where the path to greatness begins.
Trained by Derek Flowers is sitting second right now in the 2-year-old filly
Bow River Jewelry has been the premier designers of sulky jewelry for more than 30 years. We incorporate today's fashion designs to create a unique piece of jewelry only found at Bow River. Visit bowriverjewelry.com today.
Went back-to-back wins at Attica and Napoleon, and then
last year was
at Hicksville last week. Got the 2-hole here with Don Harmon.
And paced a mile in 55 and 2 at Northfield. When
the Ohio Harness
County Fair was held at Northfield.
Summit County Fair Stakes, yes.
Yeah. It's kind of amazing in this whole program. It's mostly the fair horses. A lot of times we'll go someplace and a lot of the horses will be bouncing back and forth. We need Buckeye or something, but these, as you can tell, are just are fair horses, and that's kind of nice to see them all. And it makes me especially happy because the coded classes are all the same, and that makes me very happy to see. We've been working on that with the different clerks and charters to get those all the same, so that when somebody, especially from out of state or something, looks at it, they know exactly what OHFS means. It's Ohio Fair Stakes.
Yeah, that is a good way to do that.
Susan, I'm not sure where we went down, if we had the last race or not. Some of our good friends out there could let us know if we picked up that last race or if it went down during the commercials.
Okay. Dave Myrick said, we see the fair, but the sound is your advertising. So
nope, not anymore. I fixed that.
Okay.
I tell you, I don't know what happened. That computer went off. It came back on, and I think we got it now. But, yeah, we had the advertising. I think you can hear us now. Well, the advertisers will be happy.
Yeah.
More airtime for them.
Just trying to see if we did pick up that fourth race or not. So
I think Dave Myrick will tell us. Dave, did you see the fourth race? He'll tell us.
Oh, I want to thank Keith Gisser, too, for letting us know we were off. He shot me a text.
Yep, me too.
So.
Yeah, Dave says now you're in sync. So.
Okay.
But did you see the fourth?
Yep.
If not, I think we can get you the replay of the fourth.
It was a good finish in the fourth. If you missed the finish,
yeah,
of the
if you missed
fourth,
it, we're going to have to show you.
Yeah, you missed
finish.
a good one. The race.
Very close.
Very tight. Here comes the post parade.
We get
$5,473 in the Jimmy Wallace Turn 3 trophy. The one is Heart to Handle, all by Eugene Schwab of Portland, Michigan, trained and driven by Marvin Kraft. Number 2 is Black Tilly, all by Krista and Don Harmon of Jackson, Michigan, trained by Krista Harmon, the driver, Don Harmon. Number 3 is Disney Springs, all by Henry Trimble of Byron, Mississippi, trained and driven by Derek Flowers. The 4 is Cedar Point Beach, owned by Cedar Point Beach Racing of Fremont. Suzanne Bates of Gibsonburg, trained by Ty Bates, the driver Pierce Henry. The 5 is Academe, owned by Dave Gamble of Bradford, Ohio, trained by Jody Flammersfeld, the driver Ronnie Gillespie. Number 6 is Oh My L, owned by Levan Stables Incorporated of Woodstock, trained and driven by Hank Levan. Number 7 is C. Margot, owned by Jerry Meigel of Westland, Michigan, trained by Steve Novak, the driver Kim Pluta. Horses will take one long score and go to the gate. Show windows closing in 4 minutes. There's Win, Play, Show, Exacta, Quinat, in race 5.
I think because of Cedar Point Beach, I think Keith's got a part of that horse, and I think that's why he was worried that the stream went down.
I was just going to say that. We know Keith's watching. I was pretty sure he's got a piece of Cedar Point Beach here. So he's glued in. He wants to know what's going to happen with the 4-horse here.
He's saying, "Oh, please stay up for this
Currently
race."
sitting at 9-2, I believe, on the board.
Check that for him here in a second.
Dave says we did not get the last race, so we will try to show that 4th race to you.
We will show that
after
one.
This.
We'll replay that after this one.
Yeah, the fourth race was pretty much single file alignment all the way till past the 3/4, and then the horses started making a move, made for a pretty exciting finish.
It was a good finish.
I think probably about a nose or a head maybe separated first and second.
And again, unfortunately, those are without audio, so Brad will have to do his first race call.
No, I don't.
We'll have somebody give you the race call. Susan will try this time, I think.
No. At my age, I know my limitations. Yeah, the horses are, most of them are back here in front of the grandstand, taking their score. 2-year-old filly Pacers, 2 divisions tonight, so this is the last division of the 2-year-old filly Pacers we will see here at Van Wert. Like I said, Disney Springs has 4 wins already on this year and is sitting second in the Ohio Fair Championship. Black Tilly has 3 wins, and she's down, I'm going to guess, somewhere around 15th, 16th. Does not mean that she won't be in the fair final, because a lot of times we end up, for different reasons, some of the horses that are up in that top 10 group don't enter. So people call into the office when it gets closer and they say, well, where am I sitting? I said, just enter. Just enter. If your horse is good, just enter, because you never know. I mean, we have gone down to the 20th horse.
Oh, wow.
Even more than that.
Okay. Is that because maybe some of them are opting to go for the Buckeye Stallion Series, or maybe do something like that rather than going to the fair final?
Yeah, and some of them it's a long season, and they're done.
Right, and they're done.
They say, no, we're going to wait till next year.
There you go.
Give them some time off.
Nothing wrong with that, especially with the 2-year-olds.
So that happens. So we tell everybody, if you're, no matter where you're sitting, especially with a 2-year-old, just go ahead and enter.
You might just get in there.
Yep. Worst you can do is not get in.
We talked about the 4-horse Cedar Point Beach, pretty successful year there too. 2 wins, 3 seconds, 2 thirds in 9 starts. So.
Yeah, 13,000 made. Got a record of 2, 3, and 1.
It's not bad at all.
No. We've got a couple horses in here. The 6 and the 7 horse have not won yet this year. But everybody else has at least 1 win.
The Levan stable already has 1 win today, so with an undefeated horse, or a winless horse.
Yes.
So maybe their luck is turning around here in Van Wert.
They do race a lot of horses.
They race a lot of horses, and they've had a great year.
Such a nice family too. I always tell about them because it made such an impression on me a couple years ago when we had a Harness Horse Youth Foundation camp here, and it was at Marysville, and I believe it was Hank and Harrison talked to those kids and just were so good.
Hank and Harrison are such great guys. They're so easy to talk to and just so friendly about everything.
Yeah, they made those kids, they showed them everything that they could.
That's great.
It was great.
Good for them.
38 is rolling now. Here they come. Here, off pacing the first horse away is Black Tilly. In their second is Disney Springs. Up on the outside third is Oh My Al. Down at the rail fourth is Hard to Handle. Racing in their fifth is Cedar Point Beach. Sixth is Academe, and the last horse is C. Margot. As they head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark, Derek Powers now has Disney Springs on top by 1 length. At the rail second, that's Black Tilly, driven by Don Harmon on the outside third. Now second is Oh My Al, driven by Hank LeVan. Fourth is Hard to Handle, driven by Marvin Kraft. In their fifth is Cedar Point Beach, driven by Pierce Henry. Sixth is Academe, driven by Ronnie Gillespie. And the last horse is C. Margot, driven by Kim Pluta. First quarter was paced in 30 and 2/5 seconds. As they race around the upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time. Up on the outside now comes Disney Springs to regain the lead over Oh My Al. Racing in their third is Black Tilly as they race down to the half. On the outside fourth, that is Academe. Moving up fifth, that is C. Margot at the rail six, Hard to Handle on towards Cedar Point Beach. Going through a bunch, they race past the half-mile mark. First half paced in 101 and 2/5. Around the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Disney Springs. The coast source second on the outside is Black Tilly. Oh My Al at the rail third. Moving up on the outside fourth now, that's Cedar Point Beach. As they race toward that 3/4 mile mark. Along the rail with the lead, that's Disney Springs. Pouring on the punch on the outside, that's Academe. Third along the rail, it's Oh My Al. On the outside fourth, Black Tilly. 3 wide down the backside, that's Cedar Point Beach. Hard to Handle, looking for racing room. 3/4 in 132 and 3/5. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. Still Disney Springs at the rail of the lead. On the outside, that is Academe. 3 wide in the race for home. That's Cedar Point Beach. In between horses is Black Tilly. As they race through the lane, that's Black Tilly and Cedar Point Beach. At the rail, Disney Springs. It's going to be Black Tilly. And the outcome looks like Disney Springs got up the place. The first show was Cedar Point Beach.
Well, unofficially looked like Black Tilly, Disney Springs second, and Cedar Point Beach third. That's what my eyes saw. Mile in 2:04. Black Tilly, this is her 4th win in 8 starts. And she also has 3 seconds, so 7 out of 8 first or seconds. That's pretty nice. Has been racing super consistently at the fairs. And as we said earlier, she did pace that mile in 55 and 2 at Northfield, finishing second. Can you show his shirt? This is, I've seen a couple guys with this shirt on. This is how I roll. That's a pretty cool shirt. Frank's been teasing me all year about bringing along a sweatshirt, and I didn't bring along a sweatshirt tonight, and it's getting...
It's not getting cold.
Not cold,
Oh
just a little chilly, just a little chilly.
It's a beautiful breeze.
These kids down at the rail, they were really excited about the race. There was 5 of them yelling down there. Black Tilly and Don Harmon coming back to the winner's circle.
I believe that's the second tonight for Don Harmon, correct?
Yeah.
Comes number 2, Black Tilly, owned by Krista and Don Harmon, trained by Krista Harmon, and driven to victory this evening by Don Harmon.
That little girl unchecked that horse.
Courtesy of Jimmy Wallace.
She's the one who had the lines before. Look at her handle that horse.
Yes.
Turn 3 at the races here at the Van Wert County Fair. And this is we're giving it the name of Jimmy Wallace, turn 3.
Cute smile there.
That's a big hand here for the Harmons and Black Tilly and Jimmy Wallace, turn 3, the donors of the blanket.
6, 1, 2.
Looks like they're going to take another picture.
I think the little kid wants to run through the water truck.
I think so.
That's what it kind of looked like.
And they're off. So we'll get the official rundown.
At the top, number 1, Heart to Handle was 6th. Number 2, Black Tilly was the winner. Number 3, Disney Springs was 2nd. Number 4, Cedar Point Beach was 3rd. Number 5, Academe was 5th. Number 6, Oh My L was 4th. Number 7, C Margot was 7th. Time of the first quarter was 30 2/5. The half was in 101 2/5. The 3/4 in 132 3/5. With a mile in 2:04. From the top it should read 6:12 3:54. 7 on the bottom. The mile in 2:04.
Okay, we'll give you that rundown just in case you couldn't hear it. Black Tilly was the winner. Disney Springs was 2nd. Cedar Point Beach 3rd. Oh My L was 4th. Academy was 5th. Heart to Handle 6th. And C Margot 7th. 30 2, 101 2, 132 3, 2:04.
Lights have now come on here at Van Wert, and unfortunately we don't have the whole race of 4. We've got the stretch run is what we have, so at least we have something for you, but it kind of bopped everything out. So we're going to pick up the stretch run here as we go with it right now, and that's about all we've got. But as you can see, the close at the end just to get up. So there you go. There's the finish of that race. So we apologize that we didn't have the whole thing for you, but we had some sort of a computer bug there.
When the computer goes,
everything goes.
Everything goes. Yeah. See that little girl handled that horse pretty well, didn't she?
There, hold on, Brad. There you go.
There we go. She did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Looked out there. She just reached right up and unchecked that thing. And like she's been doing it. She probably has been doing it her whole life.
And the 2-year-old.
Right.
You know.
Right. And I think we got our answer on the tents back there. Did you? Were you paying attention to that? The blanket was presented by Jimmy Wallace Turn 3. And apparently that's that group back there in Turn 3 in their tents. They must do that every year, have a big party and watch the races.
How
and they presented the blanket in the last race.
That's really great.
Next year we need to make sure we get an invite to Turn 3.
That's right.
It might be the place to be.
It looks like it. I mean, they got nice tents, and it looks like fun. We will be back with the 6th race after these messages.
Last year was unique in many ways. The Little Brown Jug isn't the same without you, the fan. Make plans now to attend this year's Little Brown Jug, where history is sure to be made and a new champion will be crowned.
You win the Little Brown Jug!
The 76th Little Brown Jug is Thursday, September 23rd. Please visit littlebrownjug.com or call 1-800-DEL-FAIR to learn more about ticket packages. Be there!
For over 50 years, Midland Acres has provided top-quality Ohio-bred colts and fillies. As a third-generation farm with 500 acres of pasture for breeding to boarding and on-site veterinarian care, we understand the importance of delivering well-cared-for and well-mannered yearlings. Visit us September 17th at the Pickaway County Fairgrounds and get in the winner's circle with the yearlings by Fear the Dragon, Yankee Cruiser, Pet Rock, and Long Tom. Midland Acres, doing our best to bring you the best.
The fall of 1855 saw the founding of the annual Van Wert County Fair. Earlier that same year, a local newspaper had pushed the Agricultural Society to host a fair promoting area farm development. Despite public demand, the first fair was humbling. The one-day event had 1 horse, few poultry, a pig, 2 cows, and just some artwork to exhibit. However, by 1857, the fair had become so competitive that land was purchased to keep up with expansion. For only $187, the Van Wert County Fair finally had a permanent home. In 2 decades, the fair had extended to 3 days, and admission was increased to 25 cents per person. A saloon, Wheel of Fortune, dance floor, and racetrack had all been added to the grounds. A $20 purse was given to the fastest trotter of the day. Today, the Van Wert County Fair is a member of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference. They host 2 days of live-action harness racing and include a leg of the Spring Haven Farm Ladies Driving Series.
The roots of harness racing are born at the county fairs. For over 150 years, people have gathered to watch horses battle it out for fame and glory. Catch the thrills this summer at an Ohio Fair Racing Conference County Fair. The OFRC races at 21 fairs in 19 Ohio counties. Trotters and pacers put it all on the line to be called the best in the Buckeye State. The Ohio Racing Conference, where the path to greatness begins.
And now we're back here in Van Wert. Sixth race is going to be on the track soon. Getting all the horses out there. Let's say hi to Dave Myrick out there. We've been talking about him and chatting, and he sent a message, said he visited my dad many times to get win photos over the 30 years that he trained horses. So, yeah, Dad was in this business a long time. So thanks for all your business, Dave.
For many years.
And I'm proud to carry on the tradition.
When did your dad start doing this?
He started working for the photographer at Scioto Downs somewhere in the late 60s.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
My dad was in photography ever since he was in high school. And he picked up a job with the guy that was the track photographer at Scioto Downs, worked for him for several years, and then took it over on his own when that guy decided to retire.
Okay.
So it was probably somewhere in the early 70s that he took over at Scioto Downs. And really that was just a part of his business. I mean, he was a portrait wedding photographer. We had a photo lab, the whole deal. You know, we've been in just about every aspect of the photography business. Okay. But he always did Scioto, and it was just always something that he did and enjoyed. And then it really wasn't until later, probably into the 80s or 90s, when we really started picking up a few more tracks and a few more things. And now here we are now, and where that's all I do is horse racing photography.
I was just going to ask that if you are still doing anything else. But
Nope, that's it. And
keeps you busy enough.
Very busy.
Untitled Pace, going for a purse of $5,843 in the May Wallace 2021 trophy. Number 1 is Bonus Time L, Alma Levan Stables Incorporated, Megan Levan of Woodstock, Ohio, trained and driven by Hank Levan. Number 2 is Walt Kowalski, owned by Dave Gamble of Bradford, Ohio, trained by Jody Flommersfeld. The driver is Ronnie Gillespie. Number 3 is Buddy the Bookie, owned and trained by Jason Elser of Montpelier. The driver, Pierce Henry. Number 4 is Type A Personality, owned by Miller Racing Stable Incorporated of Greenville, Ohio, and Janie Hartley of Richmond, Indiana, trained and driven by Ryan Miller. Number 5 is Sky Dawson, owned by Jennifer Vollmer of LaSalle, Michigan, and Brian Boring of Adrian, Michigan, trained by Brian Boring. The driver, Skip DeMall. Number 6 is Surfing the Canyon, owned by D&K Stables LLC of Hicksville, trained by Bill Webb. The driver, Jason Merriman. Number 7 is Heartstack, owned by Eugene Schraubin of Portland, Michigan, trained by Marvin Kraft. The driver, Don Harmon. Horses will take one long score and go to the gate and mute your windows. Closing in 4 minutes. There's Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, Trifecta, and Superfecta wagering here in race 6. Your attention to the barns. You plan to warm up after race 6. Have your...
I always like to pick out some of my favorite names when the nominations come in, and I have to say Buddy the Bookie is one of my favorites.
That is a good one. And again, a lot of these horses that are racing here tonight are kind of up here in this circuit that I don't get to very often. So some of these I'm just seeing for the first time. But Buddy the Bookie, that's a very good one.
That is a good name, yeah. Or
Frank's trying to kill himself.
He is.
My
goodness, Frank.
Adjust a microphone, and he's going to fall over the edge.
Yeah, he is trying to get it so that the sound from Bill Peters is a little bit better. As Frank said before, we've got Bill mic'd up, but when he turns and he's not facing us, we can't hear him as well. When he turns back around, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's
technology is good, but it still has its limitations.
It does. It does. And when you're away from a large metropolitan area, it does have
even more technical issues.
Yes, even
right.
more.
7-horse field here for the 2-year-old colt pacers.
Got, like we said, most of these have been racing at the Ohio Fair Stakes all of their starts. Sky Dawson, this is only his second lifetime start.
Is our favorite named horse going to get the award again today, Buddy the Bookie?
Yep, we were talking about that. The best name award, best 2-year-old colt pacer name award today.
Buddy the Bookie.
Yep. Buddy the Bookie won his last start over at Hicksville in 2-1-2. That was his first win out of 6 starts.
Paced a mile in 54-4 at Scioto Downs. It was an 8th place effort, but 54-4, that's a heck of a mile.
That
Better
is.
than those 2 minutes that you were talking about before.
Right.
That's for 8th place.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, isn't that amazing? You paced
Yeah.
in 54-4 and you finished 8th.
It finished 8th
That's
as a 2-year-old.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That is really tough.
I think I may have found my food choice, maybe, if it's not the, if I don't go for the sausage, the old corn dog, the foot-long corn dog right there.
So Frank, what's your favorite food you've had this year?
So far, I think my favorite has been, I got to give 2. The pork wrap at Urbana.
Yes.
I think the pork wrap at Urbana was very good. And the pork chop that the horsemen in Greenville put out that night. When they were
Yep.
Oh, my Lord. Those were unbelievable.
I had both of those things, and I would agree with you. Right at the top of the list.
Like I told somebody, the problem with fair food is you physically cannot eat everything you want to at a fair. Even over the course of a year, you can't.
I get made fun of because I judge fairs on food. My wife will tell you this. I'll say, well, yeah, this is a good food fair, or this is a bad food fair, or whatever. And then you get some, and Greenville's one of them, where there's more than you have time to eat.
Exactly.
It's all good
I
there.
had people tell me you had to go back to Farmer Brown's,
Farmer
and I
Brown.
couldn't get back there.
I finally got the Farmer Brown Thursday afternoon when I pulled in. And
See, I think that's what I've got to start doing is arriving. We try to arrive about 2 hours in advance to set up. I think we got to change the time to get here maybe 2:45. Give us 45 minutes to check out the foods.
And with Farmer Brown, if you try to go at lunchtime or dinner time, you're going to stand in line for a long time.
That's what they say.
You got to catch those odd hours where you can just walk right up to the counter.
Change of plans now. Now I got Friday now. Listen to this. Friday I got a double dipper.
Where are you at Friday?
I got Canfield first, and then I'm on to Burton.
See, I've never been either one of those places.
So I've got I'm going to double up on. I may do a breakfast, lunch, and a dinner on the circuit.
You could hit it all.
On the outside, the first 2. 1 trailer, hard step. There at the post, starting getting this rolling now. Dawson.
That was very tight for fourth place. I could not separate them.
A mile and 2:02.
Buddy the Bookie really cut that turn at the top of the stretch, and once he got there around that turn, was able to pull away a little bit and win easily.
Yep. Looked to me like Type A Personality was second and Surfin' the Canyon was third. I see somebody holding up their betting ticket, so they must have, he must have won.
Big smile right there.
Yes.
Gentleman down there in the fence.
So this is Buddy the Bookie's second lifetime win out of 7 starts. Back-to-back wins. 2 in a row in Ohio, I guess I should say.
Okay, pay Rogers $5.
And I owe Roger 5, yep.
Oh.
But we'll have to wait probably for the photo to separate who's 4th, 5th, and 6th. They were really tight.
Shelly Elser has joined the Buddy the Bookie fan club, it seems like. She was happy about the victory.
Yep. We don't get as many chatters on YouTube as we do on Facebook, so I don't know if it's... Way to go, Pierce.
And Buddy the Bookie and the May Wallace 2021, the sponsor of the blanket.
Okay, we'll get the official results from Bill Peters.
Cool. Okay. There are the official placings for race 6 from the top. Number 1, Bonus Time L was 6th. Number 2, Walt Kowalski was 7th. Number 3, Buddy the Bookie was the winner. Number 4, Type A Personality was 2nd. Number 5, Sky Dawson was 5th. Number 6, Surfin' the Canyon was 3rd. And number 7, Heartstack was 4th. The first quarter was 29 3/5. The half was in 102 1/5. The 3 quarters in 132 1/5. With a mile in 2:02. From the top it should read 6, 7, 1, 5, 3, 4 on the bottom, the mile in 2:02.
Driver change there. Greg Bateson to drive number 3, Boom Boom Gertie.
Only 4 in the upcoming 7th race, so we will be back to talk about them. And I noticed something quite interesting in all the track records, so we'll tell you about that when we get back.
All right.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigDWeb.com. Most orders ship that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio is a full-service standardbred breeding facility that specializes in stallion management. Cool Winds Farm stands the popular Dancing Yankee, whose first crop hit the ground this year and are great-looking individuals. Cool Winds is also standing Rockin' Amadeus, sire of world champion Ocean Rock. Be sure to inspect the Cool Winds yearlings at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway on September 17th.
Okay, back at the Van Wert County Fair, Brad Conrad, Frank Frost, and myself, Susan Schroeder, here with you. I was just noticing that the all-age pace record is held by a horse named JC from 2002.
Okay.
And there are 3 other track records that are from 2002. So that must have been a wicked fast year.
That was a good year.
2002.
They had the track in great shape that year.
They must have, because it was, well. So this JC, the driver was Doug Rideout. The trainer was Jim Jackson. And JC raced from 1998 through 2010, earning $734,000.
It's a heck of a career.
He started 362 times, had 95 firsts, 78 seconds, and 61 thirds, and took a record of 152 as a 6-year-old at Balmoral Park. He also holds the pacing track record at Wasion. So
very good.
Kind of nice, a horse that holds a couple track records here up in this corner of the state and went on to make a ton of money.
A lot of money.
How was that spelled, JC?
J-C.
Just the letters J and C?
Yes.
I didn't know if it was J-A-Y and
No.
S-E-A or S-E-E.
Yep, just
the
JC,
initials.
yeah. There is a very famous horse from the early 1900s, maybe even 1800s, named J-I-C, which is spelled J-A-Y-E-Y-E-S-E-E.
E-I-E-I-O.
E-I-E-I-O. But he was a very famous horse, owned by a guy in Wisconsin, and was a tremendous horse. He even has a bit. There's a JIC bit.
Really?
And that's named after that horse that the owner invented them. And I always called it the JIC just in case, because it was one of those bits that if you had a horse that was pulling really hard or a little hard to manage, you wanted one of those bits in its mouth. And it said, just in case he's really bad today, I'm going to put the JIC bit in.
Going to do this.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call. Well, your buddy the bookie took care of business on that last
Yes,
race. So.
absolutely. It was a nice finish. I thought that Type A personality coming out of the turn had a shot at him, but then he kind of, Type A personality kind of went wide in that turn coming out of it, and I think that lost some of his momentum. These are the rides that I was saying. These are kind of scary things to have right next to the track, but I haven't noticed any horses like freaking out.
No,
they
I
just
haven't
go
either.
right by them.
Yep.
The only time I noticed it was at Urbana. A horse was warming up, came by, and it was down in the corner of that ride that kind of went up in the air, and it started to go up, and it spooked the horse for a second, and then got back on, and just was like, oh, okay. Never. It was a 2-year-old. Never saw something like that, but after that was fine. So.
Well, that's what we talk about. These standardbreds make such great after racing horses, because if they can go by all that stuff, there's not much that's going to bother them out on a trail.
Not at all. Yeah. And like I said, I have just a small amount of experience at thoroughbred tracks. And, you know, those horses, when they're on the track, there is nothing on the track with them because, you know, they can't handle that, I don't think. I mean, I don't know that much about, you know, I don't want to act like I'm an expert on the thoroughbred breed, but, you know, standardbreds are out there. There's tractors going by. There's trucks going by. There's horses going different directions. There's rides in the corner, and it doesn't bother them.
Yeah.
They can handle anything.
They can, and that's why they just make such great horses. So if anybody you know that's out there that is looking for a horse to do, and they can do just about anything. I see them ride English, they ride Western, they do barrel racing, they do pole bending, they do trail riding, endurance riding. They are absolutely great for endurance riding. So anything that you want. Oh, and I saw. Now you completely lost my train of thought.
Anything the standardbreds you want them to do.
They can do.
There you
go. They can do.
Frank puts the camera on us and we freeze up.
Yep. Yes, we did. So we're looking at this 3-year-old filly trot. This is the second of 2 divisions. Game On Girls has 4 wins this year, and she is sitting 4th in the Ohio Fair Championship points. So
$26,000 on the card just this year.
That's 7 seconds too. That's like another 3.5 wins, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah. That's a heck of a season so far.
Yep. She's going to be a top contender over at Dayton in the same night as Charity Night.
Same night as Charity Night. October the 9th.
Yes, let's not forget that.
October the 9th.
And then October the 16th, we're back for...
What is that?
My goodness, I have to look at my calendar.
Is that the Ohio Sire Stakes Consolations, maybe?
The 16th are the Buckeye Stallion Series finals.
Okay.
At Northfield.
Oh, at Northfield.
Oh, at Northfield.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
not
right.
Dayton.
Yep, that's right.
We have
Sire Stakes Consolations, I believe, are the 2nd of
Yes.
October. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
And at Dayton that night are the Dayton Pacing Derbies.
Right.
So those are some big races. And then I believe on October 3rd, we have the Montgomery County Fair meet held at Dayton Raceway. So
Right. That'll be a busy weekend.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on.
And those
going
derbies,
on over there.
the pacing derby and trotting derbies over at Dayton, they bring in some great horses for those races.
Yep.
Number 1 is Game On Girls, owned by Sean McGee of Swanton, Ohio, trained by Ty Bates. The driver is Pierce Henry. Number 2 is Hot Chocolate Latte, owned by Sam Amato of Newport, Michigan, Edward Mason of Monroe, Michigan, trained by Karen Takasik. The driver is Scott Bateson. Number 3 is Boom Boom Gertie, owned by Rick Estel of Oakwood and Pete Meyer of Hamler, trained by Chad Williams, and the driver is Greg Bateson. Number 4 is Trottin' Brooklyn, owned by Gary Gullen of Molina, trained and driven by Jay Cross. Horses will take one long score and go to the gate and mute your windows, closing in 4 minutes. There's Pace, Exacta, and Trifecta wagering on any double wagering on races 7 and 8.
This is the time of night when I say, is that 2, 8, and 1, or is that 2, 8, and 4?
Susan, we discussed this last time we had the dusk. You were going to go out and get one of those little clip-on lamps.
I was. I was. I used to have one of those book buddies or whatever they're called.
I've got one at home.
Yeah.
I've got one.
I graduated to the Kindle, so I can read in bed in that instead of having to read with my book buddy.
Good for you. Good for you.
But yeah, a couple nights ago, I had to get my phone out with my flashlight so that I could see.
Game On Girls on the rail spots, sitting at 2-5 right now with good reason, as we discussed. Coming off a gate-to-wire win at Hicksville last week. Pierce Henry back in the bike. People walking around acting like they're chilly.
Yeah.
Which, who would have thought that 2 nights ago, right?
It can change.
Right, yeah, 1 day ago.
I learned a few years ago, you're coming up to northern Ohio within spitting distance of Michigan in September. You better bring a sweatshirt.
You better.
It's not September, though, so see, you didn't.
It's going to be September by the time we get home tonight.
Yes,
I know that.
That's for sure. It will be.
It seems like you and I get the longest drives, seems like, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes, it does.
At least Wasion's in the middle of the afternoon on Saturday.
Yeah, that's right.
Is it Wasion we're going to Saturday?
I think it is Wasion. We're just...
the days all run together
do.
anymore.
They do.
It's crazy.
There's
But
no rhyme or reason to any of it anymore.
For those of you who are interested in the upcoming programs, we have Canton at noon tomorrow and Findlay at 1 o'clock on Wednesday, September 1st. And then on Thursday, we have Canton at noon, Van Wert back here at 1 o'clock, and Findlay at 6. And on Friday the 3rd, we have Canfield at 11 o'clock. Frank Fraz and Don Tiger are going to do that. And then Frank is going to get in his car and drive really, really fast to Burton for a 5:30 post.
No speeding tickets, Frank.
No speeding tickets. Don may have to cover the last couple races in that one, but so we're going to give that a shot.
And then Canfield on Saturday the 4th, we have Canfield at 11 a.m., Wasion at 11:30, and Richwood at 1. That is a day when you will really want to watch on the Harness Racing Ohio because all three of them should be there so you can pop back and forth. You can watch the first there and the second here and the third here. So hopefully that'll all work.
That will be a busy day.
It will be. Yep.
Horses are going to the gate for tonight's 7th race.
Latte, Boom Boom Gertie with Trottin' Brooklyn on the outside. There at the post, starting gate is rolling down. Here they come. They're off and trotting. The first horse away is Game On Girls. And trotting in there second, that's Trotting Brooklyn. Moving up third is Hot Chocolate. The last horse off stride is Boom Boom Gertie. As it makes the turn out, heading down the back side, toward that quarter-mile mark. First Henry has Game On Girls on top by a length and a half. Trotting second is Trotting Brooklyn by J. Cross. Moving up third, that's Hot Chocolate. The last horse is Boom Boom Gertie by Greg Mason. Down the back side, field toward that quarter-mile mark. That's Pierce Henry with Game On Girls showing on top. Sitting out second, that is Brooklyn. Looking in third is Hot Chocolate. And for the back fourth is Boom Boom Gertie. First quarter trotted in the lead away 34 and 3/5 seconds. They race around the number turning it out past 10 for the first time. Game On Girls go by a length and a half over Brooklyn. Hot Chocolate in there third. And Boom Boom Gertie. 12 bunches, they race down to the half-mile mark. That's Pierce Henry and Game On Girls bringing the horses down to the half. Sitting in the golden chair second, that's Trotting Brooklyn. Racing third, that's Hot Chocolate. And then farther back fourth comes Boom Boom Gertie. First half trotted in 107 and 1/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race. They've got to catch Game On Girls. The closest horse second is Trotting. Now ranging up on the outside third, that's Hot Chocolate. Third, that's Trotting Brooklyn. Boom Boom Gertie. Going to the three-quarter mile mark. That's Game On Girls entering the column and trotting right on. Moving with the rail second. Now it's around the world, but running back third is Hot Chocolate. Three quarters in 138 and 2/5. As they race around the number turns ahead for Peter. And it's still Game On Girls with the lead. Trotting Brooklyn in their second. Followed by Hot Chocolate and Boom Boom Gertie. Chocolate.
Game On Girls with her 5th win of the year and her 6th lifetime win.
2:08 and 4/5 on the mile.
Last quarter in 30 and 2. They went a very slow half for 3-year-olds, 107 and 1, but then they started to step it up a little bit. Game On Girls, Trotting Brooklyn was second, Hot Chocolate was third, and Boom Boom Gertie was fourth, unofficially. Hot Chocolate and Boom Boom Gertie both made breaks, but the other two fillies kept right at it. Well, we've got a large crowd going to the winner's circle again. They have, I'm assuming that these are sponsors that are going out there, and my goodness, they have
I think
great
it's
sponsorship.
family members, too. This one's
Right.
in memory of Bill Bates, so the families sponsor the races, and the families go out there to be represented.
Bill Bates and Tyler Bates was the trainer of this horse that just won. I wonder if that's any relation.
It might be because
Number 1, Game On Girls, owned by Sean McGee, trained by Ty Bates, and driven to victory this evening by Pierce Henry. The blanket for this race is given in memory of Bill Bates. Bill was a racehorse trainer here in the Van Wert, the Paulding, and Mercer County areas for many years. Was unfortunately killed in an automobile accident a few years ago. This blanket is given in memory of Bill. Let's really head here for Ty Bates, Pierce Henry, and Game On Girls. And to the family of Bill Bates for giving this blanket in Bill's memory.
Okay, Game On Girls was sitting fourth in the Ohio Fair Championship points for the 3-year-old filly trot, so that just solidified her spot, or maybe went up a little bit.
Here the place from the top. Number 1, Game On Girls was a winner. Number 2, Hot Choco Latte was third. Boom Gertie was fourth. And number 4, Trottin' Brooklyn was second. Time of the first quarter was 34 3/5. The half was in 107 1/5. The 3 quarters in 138 2/5, with a mile in 208 4/5. From the top it should read 1, 3, 4, 2 on the bottom, a mile in 208 4/5.
Okay, the 8th race is next. It is the Signature Series. It's called the Peony Pace. There's 2 divisions. We have 2 driver changes in that race. Mocha on the Rocks, the 1 horse, will be driven by Jay Cross. And Western's Last Gun, the 4 horse, will be driven by Hank Levan. So we will be back for the 8th after these brief messages.
With more than 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. Much of that value comes from standardbred horse owners, breeders, trainers, and drivers who participate in the sport of harness racing. The mission of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association is to preserve, protect, promote, and serve the entire standardbred industry in Ohio and beyond. To learn more about the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, go to ohha.com. That's ohha.com.
Athletes, they come in all shapes and sizes. They catch, they leap, they run. Some athletes even come with 4 legs and paws and hooves. When these beloved family members need care, remember the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center. Ohio State experts wrote the book on exceptional animal care and know how to get our best friends back on their feet. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
Be sure to catch the new podcast, The Top of the Stretch, presented by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. The podcast keeps fans of racing in the Buckeye State up to date on various topics concerning the sport of harness racing. The news and views of top officials, owners, trainers, drivers, and breeders in Ohio. That's the all-new podcast, Top of the Stretch, on the Facebook page of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. Be there!
Back in Van Wert, Ohio, Brad Conrad with Susan Schroeder and Frank Frost. Coming up for the 8th race, we've got the Signature Series. Signature Series has really taken off in the last few years. I think this year, it's, up to 30 fairs or something like that.
I think I heard 31 fairs.
Something, yeah, participating in the Signature Series. And it's a nice event for the older horses to get out on the fair circuit and make a little money and usually put on a pretty good race.
Yeah, and a lot of the Signature Series races are, OHHA has a feature race grant, and a lot of the Signature Series races apply for that feature race grant so that OHHA can help them out to improve the purse a little bit, because it's hard for the fairs to come up with too big of a purse for an overnight. So this is a good way. So if you are on a fair board or on a speed committee and you want to get a little extra money for one of your overnight races, just contact the OHHA. It's on our OHHA.com page, on the fair page, and the November 30th, I think, is the date that those are due. So think about that if you're connected with a fair.
Right. Get some money for your fair and put on a nice Signature Series race.
Yeah.
Three-horse Western's Last Gun has been one of my favorites to watch in the last in the last couple of years. Really good horse.
And he has raced a lot in the Signature Series.
He sure has. Very, very active on the fair circuit as a 2- and 3-year-old. I think even stepped up into the Buckeye Stallion Series, had some success there. I think I'm kind of trying to remember that off the top of my head. But I know he had a win at Delaware, and I want to say that was in a Buckeye Series. I could be wrong on that, but But yeah, had a lot of success so far, and now racing in the Signature Series and just keeping the good success right on going.
Yeah, and this Signature Series is a point-based series, so they get points, and then the top point earners get the chance to race at Delaware.
Yeah, and maybe that was it. Maybe it was the Signature Series final that he was in. I start saying that now. I don't really know what I'm talking about, so I could be totally wrong.
Yeah,
I know he got a win at Delaware. Now I'm just kind of making things up as far as what class of race it was. But
it wasn't the Signature Series. I know that because
this isn't like ESPN. This isn't like ESPN where we have somebody at the end of the show go and fact check.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Just stop talking, Brad. Just quit making things up.
Oh.
I think what's interesting is this is called the Peony Pace, and they have a peony festival here at the Van Wert County Fairgrounds. I don't know when it is, but then they also, on Thursday, they will have the Harvest Trot.
Okay.
And I believe that's all, and these races go way back. The Peony Pace and the Harvest Trot go way back. And if they have them again this year, they even have special saddle pads, kind of like they do at Dark County with the Regal colors. They have saddle pads that say Peony Pace and Harvest Trot on.
It's just tying into what you said about the Signature Series and the fairs. I mean, it's nice that they kind of tie it into the community. You know, maybe something that they have, a festival that they have, or I think I mentioned Wapakoneta earlier. They tie it into the moon. You know, the moon landing and things like that, the Moon City Pace, the Moon City Trot, the Moon Walk Trot, something like that. So to tie it into the community, kind of bring it all together.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Peony Pace, going for a purse of $3,125 and the Young's Waste Service blanket this first heat. This first division. Number 1 is Mocha on the Rocks. He's a bay gelding, 4 years old, by a rock and roll dance out of Southwind Mocha by Arts Place. Owned and trained by Jim Molnix of Wasion. Driven this evening by Jay Cross. Lifetime earnings over $33,000. A lifetime mark 151 3/5. Number 2 is Shanghai Bobby. He's a bay gelding, 5 years old, by Art Major out of Surfside Sexy by Rock and Roll Hanover. Owned by the 11 Star Stables of Portland, Indiana. Trained by Henry Graber Jr. Driven this evening by Brad Ferguson. Lifetime earnings over $53,000. A lifetime mark 152. Number 3 is Western's Last Gun. He's a gray gelding, 4 years old, by Gun That Won the West out of Western Touch by Western Hanover. Trained by Kent Wilcox of Hollinsburg. Driven this evening by Hank Levan. Lifetime earnings over $77,000. A lifetime mark 153 3/5. Number 4 is Turing Sealster. He's a bay gelding, 8 years old, by Shadow Play out of That Day by Cam Luck. Owned by Phil Groves and Myron Kester of Sydney. Trained by Phil Groves. Driven this Pierce Henry. Lifetime earnings over $199,000. A lifetime mark 150 4/5. Number 5, Doug's Jacks. He's a bay gelding, 5 years old, by Pet Rock out of Intrinsic Value by the Ponderosa. Owned by Doug Hartong of Adrian, Michigan. Trained by Brian Boring. Driven this evening by Skip DeMall. Lifetime earnings over $49,000. A lifetime mark 152 3/5. Those are your horses for the first division of the 2021 Peony Pace.
A couple of driver changes here in the 8th race. On the 1-horse, Jake Cross will be driving Mocha on the Rocks. The 3-horse, Western's Last Gun, will have Hank Levan. And the 5-horse, Doug's Jacks, has Skip DeMall in the bike. As these 5 horses go for a purse of $3,125.
Nice. Usually, a lot of fairs that we've been to, the Signature Series did not split. So this one, they had 10 enter, so it split into the 2 divisions.
Mm-hmm. Very talented field.
Yes. We were doing that post parade was so pretty. Frank had them on the camera. Bill was talking, and then all of a sudden, he needed to go faster or something.
Well, Bill asked him to space himself out 100 feet.
Yeah.
The problem is, Bill had a lot more than 100 feet of things to cover there, and it was the first 2, it was fine, but then all of a sudden, I think it was Hank Levan came up and was like, wait a minute, they're still talking about the other one. After that, it was trouble.
Yeah,
That's all right. We've got to promote these older horses. They've had very successful careers.
Yeah, and some of these old horses, they really like to race, so they don't want to quit. They enjoy the competition.
They do, yeah. And I've never been on the training end of horse racing, but I just hear the owners and trainers talk, and you hear about the different personalities they have, and some of them, like you said, they just want to go out and do their work, and they love it, and they don't ever want to stop.
Yep. I can remember one old horse we had in particular. His name was DK Bird, and we'd give him some time off, and he would stand in the field with his head down and just be so unhappy.
That's what amazes me when I do talk to people about that, is the personalities.
Yeah.
And I'm not around them enough, in the barn area and things like that. I mean, I am a little bit. I'll go back to the paddock at Dayton because it's nice. My office is right there in the paddock, and I can kind of walk around back there and talk to people and see the horses. So you see it a little bit, but when you talk to some of the trainers and the owners, and they talk about those kind of personalities, and just, the most detailed things about a personality that these horses have, and it really is amazing. It's great animals.
And they all have their little quirks, you know. I used to have one that would drink Coke and wouldn't drink Pepsi. Said, I got to get him on an ad someplace.
Right.
We could have made a bundle.
See, look at that. Sponsorships.
Oh, my goodness.
Come on, Susan.
If I would have known you back then.
We would have figured it out.
Because he would not drink it. I mean, he even tried to, you just pour it in your hands and he'd slurp up the Coke, but not the Pepsi.
Really?
See, that's where you make sure the wraps are the color of the Coke can. I mean, there's lots of things you could do. Even put Coke on them up the side.
Yep. I think there was a lot of money to be made there, Susan.
Yeah. If only I would have known Frank then.
There you go.
Right. Frank is the marketing genius.
Oh,
here.
my gosh. The sponsorship king.
Need to get more, though.
Wester's last gun, Turing Sealster with Doug's Jacks on the outside. They're at the post. Starting gate is rolling now. Here they come. They're off and pacing in the first division of the 2021 Peony Pace. The first horse that gets the call is Turing Sealster. In their second, that's moving to the third, that's Shanghai Bobby. As they race around that turn, racing in their fourth is Doug's Jacks, and the last horse is Mocha on the rock. As they head down the backside to race over that quarter-mile mark, Chris Henry has Turing Sealster on top by 1.5. Racing second is Wester's last gun, driven by Hazel Land. Third is Shanghai Bobby, driven by Brad Ferguson. Fourth is Doug's Jacks, driven by Skip Jamal. The last horse, Mocha on the rock, driven by Jay Croft. First quarter was paced at 29 and 2 seconds. Horses are on straight alignment as they race around the number turn to come down past the stand for the first time. That's Turing Sealster by 2 rights now over Wester's last gun. Shanghai Bobby continues to pace third. Doug's Jacks fourth. Moving up on the outside fifth. Now comes Mocha on the rock. Horses are pretty well launched and they come to the half-mile mark. That is still Turing Sealster mile and a half over Wester's last gun. Shanghai Bobby racing third. First half paced at 59 and 1/5 seconds. As they round the turn now to head down the backside and race over the 3/4-mile mark. They've got against Turing Sealster. Raging on the outside second now is Shanghai Bobby. Along the rail third is Wester's last gun. Mocha on the rocks is now racing up north and fifth is Doug's Jacks. Going toward that 3/4-mile mark. That is still Turing Sealster with the lead. Regaining second along the rail is Wester's last gun. Back to third is Shanghai Bobby. Along the rail fourth is Doug's Jacks on the outside fifth. Mocha on the rocks. 3/4 at 128 and 2/5. As they race around the upper turn to head for Cedar. That's Turing Sealster with the lead. They see right there second, Wester's last gun. That's Turing Sealster. Here comes Wester's last gun on the outside. That's Turing Sealster in the rail. Wester's last gun on the outside. It's going to be Turing Sealster wire to wire. And here they come. Wester's last gun on the place. Mocha on the rocks up for show. First, the mile in 1:57 and 1/5. Quarter times, Aaron?
Fastest mile of the meet so far, 1:57 and 1. Turing Sealster. Turing Sealster is an 8-year-old by Shadow Play out of a Camluck mare. Some nice breeding there.
Winner last time out at Hicksville.
Yep.
Picks up another win. That's now 6 on the year.
And has raced in the Signature Series the last at least 7 starts in a row. I'm pretty sure he's sitting right on top of that Signature Series point standings. I forgot to print those out for tonight. But I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure he's right up there at the top. Unofficially, Turing Sealster first, Western Slascon second, and Mocha on the Rocks third. 157-1. All-age pacing track record here. It goes all the way back to 2002, 156 flat. This horse.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle where the winners go. Coming in from Sydney, Ohio, comes number 4, Turing Sealster. Owned by Phil Groves and Myron Kester. Trained by Phil Groves. And driven to victory this evening by Pierce Henry. The blanket for this division is courtesy of Young's Waste Service. We'll take a picture of that blanket, and we'll also take a picture of the blanket, the Underwood Kaiser blanket.
Bill Peters down in the winner's circle.
Turing Sealster right out of the beginning, and you never look back.
Yeah, he's just a nice, classy little horse to drive. Can leave the gate and stuff like that, and once he gets his way, he's really good.
Yeah, we won at Napoleon, Hicksville, and we're with him. He's tough in the series, in the Signature Series, and I'm sure they're looking for you. Phil and Myron are looking forward to the finals in Delaware in September.
Yeah, I believe that's their goal. He's in good shape right now, so we'll see.
Well, congratulations here to all concerned with Turing Sealster.
That was nice to have a winner's circle interview.
Take a picture of this right now.
So we'll take 2 pictures because the fastest time will get the Peony Pace 2021 blanket. Makes Brad's job a little easier. He can then choose which one he wants to put on it.
Yep.
So we'll have to ask Brad about that, how he keeps it all straight.
Yeah. Yes, we will have to talk to Brad about his cataloging system, because when you call him and ask him for a picture, boom, he's got it in a very short amount of time. And that to me is one of the hardest things, is keeping things straight where everything is. So it's we have to find out exactly how he does that. So I think we'll get the official rundown in just a minute.
For over 50 years, Midland Acres
Things for race
has
age from the
provided top
top.
quality.
1 Mocha on the Rocks was 3rd. Number 2 Shanghai Bobby was 5th. Number 3 Western's Last Gun was 2nd. Number 4 Turing Sealster was a winner. Number 5 Doug's Jacks was 4th. Time of the first quarter was 29 2/5. The half was in 59 1/5. The 3/4 in 128 2/5, with a mile in 157 1/5. From the top it should read 3, 5, 2, 1, 4 on the bottom. The mile in 157 1/5.
Okay, Turing Sealster, officially the winner, 157-1.
When he took off out of the gate, when that
He
gate
did.
pulled away, he was charging and never looked back.
Yep.
That was a
His
strong mile.
legs were just flying.
They really were.
They looked like he was
Yeah.
going so fast.
You see so many races, sometimes, you know, they look alike or whatever, but
Mhm.
yeah, you could tell on that one. I mean, he was ready to go.
Yep. Okay, we will be back. The 9th race is the Springhaven Farm Ladies Driving Series Pace, another point-based series. And we'll be back with that 9th race after these messages.
For over 50 years, Midland Acres has provided top quality Ohio bred colts and fillies. As a third-generation farm with 500 acres of pasture for breeding to boarding and on-site veterinarian care, we understand the importance of delivering well-cared-for and well-mannered yearlings. Visit us September 17th at the Pickaway County Fairgrounds and get in the winner's circle with the yearlings by Fear the Dragon, Yankee Cruiser, Pet Rock, and Long Tom. Midland Acres, doing our best to bring you the best.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at BigDWeb.com. Most orders ship that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Buying or selling a racehorse? OnGate.com is your one-stop website. OnGate has changed the way racehorses are bought and sold. Easy-to-view listings makes it easy to find your next champion. Buy or sell at OnGate.com.
We are back in Van Wert, Ohio, getting ready for the 9th race, the Springhaven Farm Ladies Driving Series Pace. Always a very competitive race, no matter what fair you go to. The Ladies Driving Series will be the entertainment of the night.
Yeah, they go all out. There are
all out, all mile. They don't give an inch.
Right. We were talking about you when you were out there taking a picture.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Yeah, but it is. We are very interested to know how you categorize or catalog all these pictures that you take, because you take so many.
I do, and they're filed by track and by date. Okay. So there will be a folder that says Van Wert, August 31st, and that'll have all of the images from. Well, there's two separate folders. There'll be a folder with every image in it, and then a folder where I have converted them into the working file and cropped them the way I want them to and stuff. That way they're kind of in two separate places, just in case something were to go wrong. But that's how they're filed, by event and by date.
By date.
And then inside there will be all the images from each race, the finish and the win circle.
How many do you take in a night?
On a night like tonight with 12 races, probably 150, which isn't a whole lot considering some photographers I know that might shoot 1,000 images at an event, and I've just kind of got it dwindled down to 5 or 6 of them when they cross the finish line, and the win circle shot, and 1 or 2 there, and maybe a few extra things if I see that's something that I want to shoot. But yeah, I keep it down pretty minimal.
It always amazes me, like when Frank calls you up, hysterical, saying, I need a picture of this.
Right.
And you go, okay, and you've got it in a very short time.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
And it's not always like that, unfortunately, because there are things that I know I have somewhere and I don't really know where. But if it's from a specific race, and if I have to, I can use Pathway, something like that, to look up a race line if I need to. Or if Frank gives me the date, then yeah, I can go to the Cider Downs folder, the August the 31st folder, and boom, I know that race will be there, and I can do what I need to do with it.
That's always the hardest part of anything is the filing system that you have.
It is, and we haven't always been all that great at it. I'm learning to get better.
Yeah.
One is Insane in Spain, owned by Tim Bolenbaugh of Convoy and John Weisenberger Jr. of Oakwood, trained by John Weisenberger Jr. and the driver Emily Hay. Number 2 is Q-Rock, owned by Robert Weiner of London, Ohio, trained by Hank Levan, the driver Mandy Jones. Number 3 is Bold Decision, owned by Crystal Terrell of Macomb, Michigan, trained by Skip DeMall, the driver Jennifer May. Number 4 is Lions Ginger Ninja, owned, trained, and driven by Rhonda Patrick of Upper Sandusky. Number 5 is Casino Director, owned by Miranda Shedrin of Worcester, Ohio, trained by Miranda Shedrin, the driver Amy Wingard. And number 6 is E.R. Maria, owned and trained by Karen Takasik of Toledo, the driver Courtney Macon. Horses will take one long score and go to the gate and mute your windows, closing in 4 minutes. There's Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta wagering here in race 9. Attention to the barns, be getting your horses ready for race 10.
All right, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to mention we have Tony Hayes, who says he's watching from Australia. and hoping to get to the Little Brown Jug next year if this COVID ever lets up. So.
Well, Tony, we would love to see you at the Little Brown Jug. It's a great event, and thanks for tuning in from Australia.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's exciting. And we were also asked if we showed the replay of the 4th yet, and we did. But we just had probably the last 20 seconds.
Not even 20 seconds, about 15, 10 to 15. So
we just had the stretch drive.
You guys have been analyzing these race programs all night long. This couple sitting in the first row behind us, they've got the number 2 and the number 5, and I watched how they picked them. They've got a deck of cards. They got the numbers. They hold them out, and each one grabs a number, and they figure out who they've got, and that's how we're going to see the 2 and the 5 here this race.
You know, it takes all kinds of bettors to make racing programs go. You know, you have your hardcore handicappers and your hardcore gamblers and horse players, and then you've got your families that show up and pull numbers out of a deck of cards and have some fun with it.
Charity night, one of the women from Warrior Bags was from Mount Vernon. She found out Chris Page was from Mount Vernon. She bet Chris Page the entire night.
That's
Ironically, it was Chris Page and Elver Hanover who defeated Doji Gizmo by a neck.
That was their horse.
That was their horse. But she went. But it was funny. I was right behind her when she went to the window and she cashed 4 tickets that Chris had won. I was like, "Good for you."
That's the way to do it.
Another interesting note from Charity Night is at Scioto, they had the Send It In Invitational that night, and they had a last man standing contest. And everybody that was on track could enter this contest. You had to pick, I think it was 2 through 8, the 2nd through the 8th race. And you have hardcore handicappers that are doing that because they want to win, and the prize was $250 betting voucher and dinner with Gabe Pruitt, who is the Send It In Army captain. But you know who won it?
One of your charity people.
One of our charity people that came with the 4-H and had never bet on a horse before.
And just picked some numbers probably and some horses and wins it.
And win the whole thing.
That's great.
So you never know.
Horses are behind the gate for the night.
Gate is rolling now. Here they come. There, off and facing the first horse away is Q-Rock. Up on the outside second is Lions Ginger Ninja. Between horses third is Bolt Decision. The fourth is Insane in Spain. Casino Director moves up. Hello, last horse is E.R. Maria. As they make the turn now to hit down the backside of the race over the quarter mile mark. Benny Jones has Q-Rock on top by 1 length. On the outside second is Bold Decision, driven by Jennifer May. At the rail third, Insane in Spain, driven by Emily Hay. Fourth is Casino Director, driven by Evie Wecker. Fifth is Lions Ginger Ninja, driven by Rhonda Patrick. And the last horse, E.R. Maria, driven by Courtney May. First quarter was paced at 30 and 1/5 seconds. All 6 pacers pretty well bunched. They race around without ever turning them down past his head for the first time. That's Q-Rock along the rail in the lead. On the outside second is Bold Decision. Insane in Spain is along the rail third. Fourth is Casino Director. Moving up on the outside fifth now is between horses. That is Lions Ginger Ninja, and the last horse is E.R. Maria. That's that half-mile mark. That's what Q-Rock is leading. Bold Decision on the outside second. First half pace is well along in 3/5, only about 4 lengths separate all 6 horses. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark. The one that catches Q-Rock. The horse pouring on the place from the outside is Bold Decision. At the rail third, looking for racing room is Insane in Spain. Casino Director is racing in their fourth. Lion Ginger Ninja on the outside fifth with the last horse, E.R. Maria. Going past that 3/4 mile mark. That's still Q-Rock with the lead with Bold Decision on the outside second. And Insane in Spain at the rail third. 3/4 in 1:33 and 2/5. As they race around the upper turn to head for Painter. That's Q-Rock now by a length and a half. Up to second now is Insane in Spain. Now Emily Hay has daylight and moves up Insane in Spain up to pull the pressure now on Q-Rock. As they race for all, that's Q-Rock in the rail and Insane in Spain on the outside. Q-Rock and Insane in Spain. Q-Rock and Insane in Spain. Q-Rock up the place to look like the Casino Director got up to
I'm not sure what it kind of looked like. Insane in Spain and Emily Hay got up for the win, but
that's what I thought on the outside. But like you said, you're not on the line. I'm not on the line.
202 and 4/5.
202 and 4. Yeah, I couldn't call them. Q Rock was on the inside, Insane in Spain on the outside, and it was hard to tell. Here comes that little girl in the pink shorts that could handle that last horse.
101.
Like the judges are conferring.
Looks like we may have a winner circle interview again as Bill Peters is making his way down the stairs.
Before the next race, I'm going to tell you a little story that Bill Peters actually told me about a horse that raced here in 1959. Kind of an interesting story, which Bill Peters is full of those stories. He just, he can remember horses and drivers from 50 years ago. It's amazing.
Everybody's still waiting to see who the winner was. He hasn't announced a winner yet, but here comes the number one.
Yeah, Emily's coming back to the
winner's circle, where all the winners go. Coming in from Convoy and Oakwood comes number 1, Insane in Spain. Owned by Tim Bolenbaugh and John Weisenberger. Trained by John Weisenberger and driven to victory this evening by Emily Hay. The blanket for this race is courtesy of Clean 13. You sat pretty patiently there for a long time, but you finally got a little daylight there at the top of the stretch.
Yeah, I was sitting and just kind of waiting. Usually you get in like a hurry and you want to pull, but I knew I still had horse and his home track, so we had to do something.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good drive.
Thank you.
Let's right here for Tim Bolenbaugh, John Weisenberger, Emily Hay, and Insane in Spain.
Okay, Insane in Spain is a 13-year-old gelding by Real Desire. Made $291,000 in his lifetime, 311 lifetime starts, 312 now, so pretty nice horse. Been racing in the Ladies Series. This is his 5th consecutive start in this Ladies Series. So we may definitely see Insane in Spain and Emily Hay at Delaware for the final. We'll get the complete rundown in just a minute.
For race 9 from the top. Number 1, Insane in Spain was a winner. Number 2, Q-Rock was second. Number 3, Bold Decision was fourth. Number 4, Lions Ginger Ninja was fifth. Number 5, Casino Director was third. At number 6, ER Maria was sixth. Time of the first quarter was 30 1/5. The half was in 101 2/5. The 3 quarters in 133 2/5, with a mile in 202 4/5. From the top it should read 1, 2, 4, 5, 3, 6. A mile in 202 4/5.
Okay, the 10th race coming up is the second division of the Signature Series Peony Pace with 5 in it. We're going to need a driver on the 1.
There you go, top driver Ronnie Gillespie.
You have a Van Wert County Fair sticker at the bottom of the page. If you have a Van Wert County Fair sticker at the bottom of the page, you've won a one coupon to Westwood Car Wash.
There you go.
I don't think we won, Susan.
We did not win. And my car is filthy, so that car wash would have been good.
After a summer of fairs, it's hard to keep them clean.
Funny story, the Columbus Chill used to do a promotion with their programs as people would walk in. If you won the program with the sticker on the back, you won a prize. I can't remember what the prize was. One of my buddies had figured it out. He would stand behind the program guy who would pull it up and go, programs, get your programs. He would see the sticker run around, give the guy $1 or $2, get the program, and get the prize every week.
There's always a loophole, isn't there?
And he found
it.
That's a scoundrel. We'll be back with the 10th after these messages.
The fall of 1855 saw the founding of the annual Van Wert County Fair. Earlier that same year, a local newspaper had pushed the Agricultural Society to host a fair promoting area farm development. Despite public demand, the first fair was humbling. The one-day event had 1 horse, few poultry, a pig, 2 cows, and just some artwork to exhibit. However, by 1857, the fair had become so competitive that land was purchased to keep up with expansion. For only $187, the Van Wert County Fair finally had a permanent home. In 2 decades, the fair had extended to 3 days, and admission was increased to 25 cents per person. A saloon, Wheel of Fortune, dance floor, and racetrack had all been added to the grounds. A $20 purse was given to the fastest trotter of the day. Today, the Van Wert County Fair is a member of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference. They host 2 days of live-action harness racing and include a leg of the Spring Haven Farm Ladies Driving Series.
The roots of harness racing are born at the county fairs. For over 150 years, people have gathered to watch horses battle it out for fame and glory. Catch the thrills this summer at an Ohio Fair Racing Conference County Fair. The OFRC races at 21 fairs in 19 Ohio counties. Trotters and pacers put it all on the line to be called the best in the Buckeye State. The Ohio Racing Conference, where the path to greatness begins.
Bow River Jewelry has been the premier designers of sulky jewelry for more than 30 years. We incorporate today's fashion designs to create a unique piece of jewelry only found at Bow River. Visit bowriverjewelry.com today.
And we're back. Van Wert, Ohio, the Van Wert County Fair. Race number 10 of 12 on this first racing program of the Van Wert Fair. I think we race again here Thursday afternoon at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. As Susan mentioned, we have the second division of the Signature Series, the Peony Pace, coming up here in the 10th. I feel like it falls on me to talk about the 3-horse a little bit here. Catch Me Conrad.
Yes.
No relation. No relation, despite what some might tell you.
Younger brother.
Younger brother. Yeah, sorry, Jeff. 31 starts and 14 wins this year. $55,000 in the bank. So,
you should definitely lay claim to this.
I think, I'm going to claim that I own this horse and that I bred it, and it's a homebred, and I've been racing it all along. It's now 5 years old, and I'm enjoying the $92,000 that it's made.
If you just want to sneak down the stairs and through that other portal and out the back or down this way and make a little wager, we'll let you run out and do that.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. No, I wish I could say I bred and owned this one, but nope, just the name.
Catch Me Conrad. I wonder where that came from.
I don't know.
Because there's nothing, the sire is Tell It Like It Is.
Right.
Mare is Envy by Mach 3. Nothing to do with Catch Me Conrad.
Looks like it might be a homebred. Bred by Michelle Renee Cook, owned by Gregory Cook. So, hey, they've had some success. Good for them.
Yep.
Good for them.
All in the name.
That's right.
All in the name.
That's right.
That's right.
See?
I talk about success. We've talked so many times, especially in those little history bits that Ashley Daly's doing about the history. And this is something that I found very interesting. In 1959, a horse named Quick Song won both heats of the 2-year-old trot at Van Wert in 2:11 and 2:12 and 3. The next year, on August 31st of 1960, Quicksong finished 3rd, 1st, 4th, and 2nd in the Hambletonian at DuQuoin, Illinois. So here's a horse that was here at Van Wert and went on to the biggest race.
The biggest trotting race, yes.
At the Hambletonian.
Wow.
And at that year, they went 4 heats, which
heats.
is amazing.
I can't
imagine. And his fastest win, that in his winning heat, he went in 59 and 3. So kind of fun that a horse like that started out here and goes and wins the heat of the Hambletonian.
Goes on to big things.
Yep.
And up, as part of the Signature Series, going for a purse of $3,125 and a blanket this division, courtesy of the Van Wert Egg Society in the faster division, getting the Underwood Kaiser blanket. Number 1 is Bell Charlie. He's a bay gelding, 4 years old, by straight shooting out of Fun Day by Art Major, owned by King Racing Stable in Wilshire, trained by Dean King, the driver, Ronnie Gillespie. Lifetime earnings over $67,000, a lifetime mark 152 and 4/5. Number 2 is American Schnapps. He's a bay gelding, 7 years old, by American Ideal out of Peaches and Cream by Little Steven. Owned by Brad Schaefer of Bluffton, trained by Ryan Schaefer. Driven this evening by Pierce Henry. Lifetime earnings over $146,000. A lifetime mark 153 and 3/5. Number 3 is Catch Me Conrad. He's a bay gelding, 5 years old, by Tell It Like It Is out of Envy by Mach 3. Owned and by Greg Cook of Brooklyn, Michigan. Driven this evening by Jason Merriman. Lifetime earnings over $92,000. A lifetime mark 152 and 4/5. Number 4 is Headbanger. He's a bay gelding, 5 years old, by a rock and roll dance out of Raiders Favorite by Keystone Raider. Owned by Hader Stables, LLC of Temperance, Michigan. Trained and driven by Greg Bateson. Lifetime earnings over $81,000. A lifetime mark 154/5. And number 5 is Rockin' Megan L. She's a bay mare, 5 years old, by Pet Rock. Her way by Camlock. Owned by the 11th Portland, Indiana. Trained by Henry Graber Jr. Driven this evening by Brad Ferguson. Lifetime earnings over $105,000. A lifetime mark 153. Those are your horses for the second division of the 2021 Peony Pace.
5-horse field for this age pace. You were talking about heat racing, you know, which is pretty much all but disappeared from the sport. But I can remember when I started photographing county fair horse racing, which was probably when I was still in high school. The Ross County Fair in Chillicothe was probably the first fair that I photographed kind of on my own, you know, and Dad sent me out and said, okay, you can do it. You got your driver's license, and get out there and get out there and go to the fair. But the program every year was, say it was a 12-horse card, it was really 6 races, or a 12-race card. It was really 6 races. They'd run the 6 races, then they'd all come back and run them again in a second heat. And that was the regular card. Yep. And now you would never see that anymore, but it's just strange how that's changed. And I was always so amazed at how they did that.
Yeah, when you think, like we talked about in 1960, that horse went 4 heats.
4 heats in the Hambletonian.
And I have gone back in the, because I'm kind of a little bit of a nerd about that stuff. I have gone back to the old yearbooks and see where they were going 6 heats.
Wow.
You know. No, it's
there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way any trainer would do that these days.
Nope. No, and when they went 6 heats, they were probably warming up 2 or 3 trips besides.
Probably,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it really has changed. There's not many heat racing anymore.
No.
I have to say in my home state of Wisconsin that we still do heat racing.
Do you?
Mostly because the past couple of years we've been very short of horses since the Chicago tracks kind of disappeared. That was always we always had a lot of horses racing in Wisconsin that then in the fall would go to Chicago. It was a good way to get your horse ready and then race in the fall and winter there. But since there's not that much racing in Chicago anymore, that has hurt the Wisconsin Fair.
Sure.
So we still do race heats up there just to make sure that we can put on a good show for the people in the grandstand.
I was in the race office at Urbana one of the days we raced there and heard somebody talking about somebody who had entered a horse to race twice in the same day. Different races, you know, I don't know if it was an overnight and then a stakes or I don't know what it was, but it really made me perk up because that's just something you just don't really see or hear about anymore. And, you know, he knew his horse could go 2 heats and wanted to enter twice, and hey, what the heck, go for it.
Yep, that was 2 overnight races.
Is that what it was?
Yep,
2
that
overnights?
was 2 different overnight races. So it's yeah, you don't see that very. We've seen a number of things that you don't see very often this year. You know, we had a week or 2 ago. We had 2 recalls. Same horse caused 2 recalls. We had a horse that was in her past performance signs had a walkover.
Oh wow! I haven't seen that in
that was it
forever.
from Michigan.
Had one that raced 4 times in 6 days. I think we had one. Yep.
Yeah.
And how about the 2-horse, the
Dead
2-horse
heat.
family dead heat at Marysville?
Yeah.
Burns dead heat.
Just-
Yep.
That was so much fun.
That was very
that was
cool.
Crazy.
Here
Horses
we
are
go.
behind the gate for the 10th. We'll turn it over to Bill Peters.
Here they come. They're off and pacing the first horse away at the rail is Bell Charlie. Up on the outside second is Catch Me Conrad. At the rail third is American Schnapps. In their fourth is Hitbanger. And the last horse is Rocket Megan L. As they make the turn now to head down the backside to race over the quarter mile mark. Running the left behind Bell Charlie on top by a length and a half. Racing in their second is Catch Me Conrad, driven by Greg Cook, by Jason Merriman. Racing in their third, that is American Stop, driven by Pierce Henry. Fourth, it is Headbanger, driven by Greg Pace. And the last horse, Rocket Megan Out, driven by Brian Ferguson. First quarter pace in 28.45 seconds. As they race around the number turn to go down past the 10 for the first time. That's now still Bell Charlie will lead by a length and a half over Catch Me Conrad. Reaching up on the outside third now is Headbanger. At the fourth American Stop, on the move left is Rocket Megan Out. All 5 racers below touch to come to the half-mile mark. On the rail with the lead, that is Bell Charlie, the horse forward with the race on the outside second is Headbanger. And third in the racing room is Catch Me Conrad. First half paced in 59 seconds. As they round the turn down and head down the backside and race over the 3/4 mile mark. That's still Bell Charlie with the lead with Headbanger on the outside second and Catch Me Conrad at the rail third. Moving up on the outside fourth, that is Rocket Megan Out. Along the rail fifth is American Stops. Going to that 3/4 mile mark. That's still Bell Charlie with the lead with Headbanger on the outside second. Catch Me Conrad still along the rail third. And on the outside fourth, Rocket Megan Out and American Stops is fifth. 3/4 and 1:28 and 4/5 as they race around the number turn to head for Peter. Still Bell Charlie with the lead. Catch Me Conrad racing second and Headbanger on the outside third. As they race to the lane, that's Bell Charlie and Catch Me Conrad. Bell Charlie and Catch Me Conrad. It's going to be Bell Charlie, wire, and here they all come. Catch Me Conrad up for place, Headbanger for show.
Okay, unofficially, Vel Charlie, and the leading driver at the county fairs in the state of Ohio, Ronnie G.
Wins
Ron
again.
Gillespie wins again.
157 and 1/5. Identical to the first division.
Wonder how they're gonna split that blanket this time. that extra blanket, the Peony Pace blanket, was to go to the division with the fastest mile, and they had identical miles in 157 and 1.
Somebody's going to get to take it home. Somebody's going to get one shipped.
I wonder, or maybe they're gonna flip a coin, or I don't know. But Vel Charlie is a 4-year-old by Straight Shooting, bred by Alvin Schwartz of Indiana, so perhaps Straight Shooting stands in Indiana. I do not know that horse. Van Wert County Ag Society blanket. Vel Charlie will for sure get that, and then they'll have to make some sort of a decision on the Peony Pace blanket. Unofficially, I'm going to say that Catch Me Conrad was second, Headbanger was third, American Schnapps was fourth, and Rockin' Megan L was fifth, but we will wait for the official word. Here's
By Ronnie Gillespie. Now the blanket for this division is courtesy of the Van Wert Egg Society, and we understand that they do have 2 of those Underwood Keyser blankets, so each of them will get one of those. Ronnie, you hustled Bill Charlie right out of there along the rail, and they didn't catch me kind of a real tough horse, but he couldn't catch you in the stretch.
Yes, first time driving him, and he has a lot of gate speed.
Okay, you made good use of it, and the horse had a lot of endurance throughout the mile.
Yes, he's a very good driving horse. When I made it to the front, he come right back to me and let me raise the mile, and I like driving these times.
Those are the fun ones, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, they're real good.
Congratulations here to Dean King, Ronnie Gillespie, and Bill Charlie. And to the Van Wert Egg Society for giving this blanket, and Underwood Keyser giving a blanket to each division since they came in equal time of 157 and 1/5.
Well, there we go. The dilemma was decided. They got 2 blankets, so how nice. They were ready for the 2 races to go exactly 57 and 1. Ronnie Gillespie said what a nice horse to drive. He leaves out of there like a rocket and then just comes right back to him where he doesn't have to, he doesn't pull. He's just, horse knows his job. He knows to get out there in front and then stay there till the end. That was a nice comment by Ronnie.
Some congratulations for the winning connections.
Oh, hugs and everything down here. Still a lot of people down here. As you can see, when they're coming down the stretch, you can see all the people sitting around. This is one of those fairs where everybody brings out their lawn chairs and likes to sit right up close to the track. So I think we're still waiting for the official results.
Race 10 from the top. Number 1, Bell Charlie was a winner. Number 2, American Schnapps was 4th. Number 3, Catch Me Conrad was 2nd. Number 4, Headbanger was 3rd. Number 5, Rockin' Megan L was 5th. Time of the first quarter was 28 and 4/5. The half was in 59 and 2/5. The 3/4, 128 and 4/5, with a mile in 157 and 1/5. From the top it should read 1, 4, 2, 3, 5 on the bottom. The mile in 157 and 1/5.
We'll give a shout out here to Cheryl from Warren, Michigan, and Best by Far from Kingston, Jamaica.
Kingston, Jamaica?
I do believe that's our first person from Jamaica, don't you? Oh.
No, I think we had somebody last year from Jamaica, and I thought they were on vacation. So I don't know if they're on vacation or if they live there, but it's always good to get another country in there.
Yeah,
I think we're up to at 9 or 10 again this year.
Oh, that's great.
That is great.
Usually it's the UK, England, Ireland, Wales, Sweden, Finland, Canada, Australia, Jamaica. I'm trying to think. New Zealand we've had.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think what else. Malta. So we're up to 10 this year, I believe.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Right.
always great when they check in because it really shows the worldwide appeal of harness racing, and then the fact that they're watching Ohio racing really means a lot.
Ohio County Fair Racing, and it's they're getting viewership all over the place. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Never in our wildest dreams
No.
did we think this in the beginning, right?
No, you were just trying to help out the owners and trainers around Ohio
Yes.
during a COVID year, probably, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
you're exactly right. And what it has turned into is an outreach program for us, for new fans, because
Exactly.
we've gotten people from all over watching, new fans, that don't own horses in Ohio, but maybe now with some of the fractional ownership groups out there, will jump in and become owners in Ohio.
That's a very good point, and I will tie that into the 6th horse in this race. Are we taking a break, or are we still talking?
No, we have to take a break.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
No,
we're good.
We'll come back after these messages, and we'll talk fractional ownership.
All right, here we go.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio wants to thank all the breeders that supported our first season standing the trotter, Muscle Diamond. Cool Winds also welcomed the proven sire, Mr. Apples, to our stallion barn. Randy and Kim Haynes also stand the only full brother to some beach somewhere, Bring On the Beach, sire of Heart of Chewbacca. Visit the Cool Winds consignment at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway Ag Center on Friday, September 17th.
Your animals provide unconditional love. When they hurt, you want the best care available to help them enjoy life again. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center is here for you and for them. From heart disease to cancer, diabetes to broken bones, and 24-hour emergency services, Ohio State's team of experts make a difference in the lives of animals and the family members who love them. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
With more than 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. Much of that value comes from standardbred horse owners, breeders, trainers, and drivers who participate in the sport of harness racing. The mission of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association is to preserve, protect, promote, and serve the entire standardbred industry in Ohio and beyond. To learn more about the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, go to ohha.com. That's ohha.com.
Back in Van Wert, race 11 coming up of the 12-race card. Second division of the Spring Haven Farm Ladies Driving Series. And if this is any match to the first one, it's going to be a very exciting race. But I started to tell you, Frank, that talk fractional ownership. And the 6th horse in this race, a horse 13-year-old gelding named Better Win. I can claim to be a past owner of this horse.
Oh.
This horse was once owned by the Horseplay Racing Stable, based out of Grove City, and managed by your daughter.
Yes.
Jessica Schroeder. And so I'm involved on a small scale with horseplay and have been since probably 2014 or so. And this was one of the first horses that I was involved with. We had this one early on, quite a few years ago, but I've got win photos hanging in my office of Better Win when I was a part owner.
Now, what happens in that situation when a horse, you have a piece of wins, and you got to take the picture? Do you set it up on a tripod with a little self-trigger?
It depends. I have been, most of the time I'll just take the picture. Jessica has been nice enough to grab the camera on certain occasions and take care of that for me so I can be in it.
Well, here's the post parade.
Brooklyn, Michigan, the driver Courtney Macon. Number 3 is Sports Band, owned by Mandy Jones of Greenville, trained by Brian Jones, the driver Mandy Jones. Number 4 is Espresso, owned and trained by Jim Molnix of Wasion, the driver Emily Hay. Number 5 is Lady Anastasia, owned by DTS Racing Stable LLC of Toledo, trained by Karen Takasik, the driver Amy Wingard. Number 6 is Better Win, owned and trained by Mark Laughlin of Wapakoneta, the driver Jody Hamill. Horses will take one long score and go to the gate and mute your windows, closing in 4 minutes. There's Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering in race 11. Daily double wagering on races 11 and 12. Your attention to the bars, be getting your horses ready for race 12.
Now, Brad, didn't you say your sandwich earlier today was from the trailer of the driver of number 3 Sports Band?
Mandy
Jones family?
Her and her family have a food trailer that they've had around it. I know they were in Salina. They were at their home fair in Greenville, and I saw them here. Stopped by and talked to them. I've known the Jones family for a long time. Great people. And so, yeah, I stopped by and got a sandwich. So
looked pretty good.
Yeah, it was. It was. And, so yeah, so now she's out here racing the horse.
So had you owned any horses before you did the fractional?
I had not. Well,
okay.
I shouldn't say that. I don't know which came first. I think I might have been involved in the fractional, and then after that, I got in a small, maybe 10% with another owner, Kenter Penning, a guy down the Lebanon area. We had a couple of horses together where I was in kind of like on a small scale, some claimers or something, and got out of that. We just, we didn't have anything we wanted to keep a hold of, or I think we had a couple get claimed. But I got back into horseplay, and this year got involved with a 3-year-old, which usually I was just involved in that summer claimer that they had at Scioto every year, and I kind of stayed away from the younger horses, but I got involved with that 3-year-old this year, and currently she's racing like a champ and cannot draw worth a darn.
Oh.
Which one's that?
That's San Franny.
San Franny. Finished second Saturday night.
Second out of the 6 hole. She had a second and a third out of the 8 hole, and the draw came out today for Saturday night. the 7.
Oh, jeez. See, that's when you think there's got to be something wrong with the algorithms. There has to be.
She's had a 7, 2 8s, and a 6 in her last 4 draws. So if she ever draws inside, I think she wins for fun. But you just never know. That she's racing like a champ.
She has turned around, hasn't she?
She is racing great.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Nothing beats your own horse winning, racing well, and you having fun with. Yeah, it's great.
Even for my little 4%, I'm acting like like I own the whole darn thing. I'm yelling at my phone, watching on the screen. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much you own.
No,
it's still fun.
It's fun. It's really fun. I've been out to dinner with family and had it on the phone. I get in trouble for that.
I feel that way about Charlie May.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here they come. They're off and pacing the first horse away is Sportsman. Now up on the outside to gain command is Espresso. Down at the rail third is I'm Gonna Catch Ya. Racing in their fourth is Lady Anastasia. Moving up fifth along the rail is Eloquent Velocity, and the last horse is Better Win. As they head down the backside, the race over toward that quarter-mile mark. Along the rail now with the lead is I'm Gonna Catch It, driven by Jennifer May. On the outside second is Espresso, driven by Emily Hay. At the rail third, Sportsman, driven by Andy Jones. Fourth is Lady Anastasia, driven by Amy Winger. Racing fifth, that's Eloquent Velocity, driven by Courtney Macon. And the last horse is Better Win, driven by Judy Hill. First quarter pace at 29 and 4 seconds. As they race around the number turn, down past the stage for the track. That's I'm Gonna Catch You with the lead. Along the rail second, Sportsman on the outside third. That is Espresso. At the rail fourth is Lady Anastasia. Racing fifth is Eloquent Velocity, and turning is Better Win. First half raced at 59 and 3 seconds. As they're on the turn, now head down the backside and race about a 3/4 mile mark. That is I'm Gonna Catch You with the lead. On the outside second now is Espresso. At the rail third is Sportsman. Racing in their fourth is Lady Anastasia. Now closer fifth. That's Eloquent Velocity. Turning is Better Win. Going to that 3/4 mile mark. That's I'm Gonna Catch You with the lead. Sportsman on the rail second. On the outside third is Espresso. 3/4 in at 1:30. As they race around the upper turn to head for Payard. That's I'm Gonna Catch You by a length and a half. Sportsman second at the rail. Espresso on the outside third. As they race toward home, that's I'm Gonna Catch Ya. Sportsman now looks like might have a little race. As they race for home, that's I'm Gonna Catch Ya. Sportsman. I'm Gonna Catch Ya. Sportsman and Espresso. I'm Gonna Catch Ya. Espresso. It's gonna be tight in the wire there between I'm Gonna Catch Ya and Sportsman. And Espresso. Tight at the wire between I'm Gonna Catch Ya and Espresso.
Okay, it really tight there between I'm Gonna Catch Ya and Espresso.
4/5.
2 minutes and 4/5, I think.
I think it was I'm Gonna Catch You with the victory, correct?
Yes, I think so too. But I'm gonna wait for the official. Emily Hay looked like she was
got up for second. I thought
looked like a kind of a duplicate drive from the last one.
Just ran out of room.
Ran out of track.
Yep. If you're like most drivers, you know who you blame for that? The photo finish person for putting the line there and not another 20 feet farther up the track.
It looks like this I'm Gonna Catch has been racing at a lot of the Michigan fairs. Did he call for I'm Gonna Catch it?
Yep.
Okay. Seven-year-old mare. Was in the ladies series a couple of times, finished second and first, second at Troy and first at Tiffin. So I'm sure that I'm going to catch you is, excuse me, I'm giving Jennifer Main some good points in the series.
There goes.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle where the winners go. Coming in from Basic, Michigan comes number 1, I'm Gonna Catch Ya. Owned by Carol Dean Bostel, trained by Skip DeMall, and driven to victory this evening by Jennifer Main. The blanket for this race is courtesy of Superior Collision. Jennifer, you kind of waited there a little bit, and you finally kind of got away from him.
Yeah, she raced good. She's pretty good on the front end.
Okay, it was a real tight at the finish, so real tight.
Yep, Emily almost got me.
Did you think you had it?
I wasn't sure.
Okay, well, congratulations. Nice drive. Congratulations here to all concerned with I'm Gonna Catch Ya and to Superior Collision, the donors of the blanket.
Well, the women that drive these, they battle out there. They don't give anybody an inch.
No, there are no holes given. It's amazing they keep these horses alive because a lot of them are parked on the outside and they keep them alive the whole mile. It's quite an interesting series.
As we have made it to our last race.
Mm-hmm. The way that it was raining so hard when we first started out up here, we wondered about it, but closer and closer we got to Van Wert. What a wonderful night it has been.
Beautiful evening, maybe a little sweater weather.
Aha!
No, I'm kidding. I just wanted to see your reaction.
I'm ready to go out to the car and get my jacket.
Oh, listen.
Oh, man.
By the way, how bad were your sneakers yesterday after that mud?
No, not as bad as I thought they would be, honestly.
Mud was terrible.
Honestly, I thought it was going to be really bad.
Light on your feet there, Brad.
Was fourth. Number 3, Sportsman was third. Number 4, Espresso was second. Number 5, Lady Anastasia was fifth. And number 6, Better to Win was sixth. Time of the first quarter was 29 4/5. The half was in 59 2/5. The 3 quarters in 1:30 with a mile in 2 minutes and 4/5. From the top it should read 1:43.256. A mile in 2 minutes and 4/5.
We've got some very bad news, Brad.
What is that? The food stands are closed.
It's closed.
Oh,
it's the one you pointed out has closed its lights. Its stores are closed.
Frank, I'm so sorry because I know you would have really enjoyed it.
I'm crushed now.
There'll be one place show.
Still a chance that the Texas Tenderloin back here is open. I'm holding out for that.
That's what we're going to look at next. So.
Maybe this place will be in Montpelier. We're not too far from Montpelier, are we?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
They seem to go in that circuit.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Oh, my.
It's all about the food.
That's kind of a crushing defeat.
It is. Well, I've got a similar story at Salina because I know they're at Salina, and I knew that. Raced at 12:30, I think, on a Sunday afternoon. My whole drive up there, that's all I could think about. I got there was quite a few food stands open. They were not. It was crushing there, too.
Isn't it terrible when that's all you can think of?
I know. It's fair food.
Yes. Fair time is fun time.
And food time.
And food time, yes. All right, we will be back with the 12th and final race from Van Wert after these messages.
Last year was unique in many ways. The Little Brown Jug isn't the same without you, the fan. Make plans now to attend this year's Little Brown Jug, where history is sure to be made and a new champion will be crowned.
You win the Little Brown Jug!
The 76th Little Brown Jug is Thursday, September 23rd. Please visit littlebrownjug.com or call 1-800-DEL-FAIR to learn more about ticket packages. Be there!
Selling your horse? Sell for free. No fees. No commissions. The only free auction site in the industry. There's no problem selling your horse at harnesshorseauction.com.
And we are back. There we go. Frank, you got to turn up the microphone.
A little late on the button.
That's all right. We're back in Van Wert. One more race left on the card tonight. The 12th. It's an overnighter. Winners of at least $5,000 in your lifetime pace. Also eligible for claimers. Not often you see claimers at a fair.
No.
But you do see them every once in a while, and then you do actually see one get claimed, which is even more rare. And that gets a little tricky sometimes. But then we also have eligible non-winners of $1,500 since July 1st of this year. So a nice field of, let's see, anywhere from 3-year-olds to up to a 9-year-old. The 7 horse is 9 years old.
Yeah, quite a varied field.
We've got fillies, we've got colts, we've got geldings, we've got the whole package.
The whole thing.
In this overnight race here tonight.
We've got Dirty Ruby coming out 2-hole, has not raced since 2019.
Whoa, look at that.
Yeah.
First start in over 2 years.
Yeah, that's looked like it was kind of as a 2-year-old, had 7 starts. I'm going to assume that was as a 2-year-old, 7 starts, 2 wins, pacing 57 and 4. So something must have happened, though, that now had a couple years off. That's a long time.
That is a long time.
Really long.
Get back at it and see what she has to offer. Racing against Dirty Steve from the same stable. So we have Dirty Ruby and Dirty Steve, stablemates going after each other here tonight. They
are half brother and sister, the same mare, Sarah's little sis.
Okay, yeah.
Of a Noble Land by Noble Land Sam. So Mark Rowe is the trainer for both of those horses and was the breeder. So must have saw something in Dirty Ruby that he wanted to hang on.
Hang on and give it another shot. Rose have been in the business a long time. I know I've seen them racing for years and years and years based out of Urbana there.
Well, if she's anything like Dirty Steve, he's made $181,000.
Yeah, hey, that's not too shabby.
So, yeah.
Maybe there's, like you said, there's a reason they kept Dirty Ruby around.
Yes.
And I think maybe she's got some good things ahead of her. You said we still have a pretty nice crowd here for getting into the last race.
Yep.
9:45, but
there's been 5 or 6 young men down at the rail, and they get pretty excited when the races come on.
They do.
I see the one little guy, he's like he's driving, and
Yeah.
I always think that's so cute.
It is.
Yep.
It's nice to hear the crowd reaction. Different fairs are different. I was at Bucyrus earlier this year, and that's still a relatively new fair for me. But it just stuck out with me that you could hear the crowd. Every time the horses turned for home, they were loud, they were into it. It was so great to hear.
It was. I have to tell you the Bucyrus story. There was a lady. We were in a box similar to this, but there was bleachers down below us, and one of the first races, and this lady's got her ticket in her hand, and she's slapping her hand with that ticket and yelling and screaming, and they go by the half, and her horse is on top, and she goes, yeah, and runs towards the betting windows.
Oops.
The guy stopped her and said, they have to go another half.
One more time around.
Oh,
One more time.
she was so disappointed.
Hey, at least she was into it.
She was.
She wanted to catch that ticket.
They were having fun there. That's most of the fairs we've been.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just, people are really
like
into
you said, they want to get back out. They want to get back to the fairs. I think we were all looking forward to this fair season.
Yes.
Just after, last year was just you show up, you do the races and go home, and not a whole lot of atmosphere. So it's nice to be back to this.
Right. And when in that last bit, when Roger was talking about the Little Brown Jug getting back to there where there's, there wasn't anybody there last year. And OHHA will be there. We have our 5 days in Delaware, and we will be there all 5 days. And we were kind of planning stuff on the way up here.
I'm thinking of are you bringing your camper that night? I may just sleep with you in your camper. I'm just,
The plan is to have the camper in Delaware, yes. I have not received official confirmation from the fair yet, but the plan is to be there with the camper. And just makes the week a little bit easier without the travel, because those are long days.
I'll tell you, we need a sponsor of campers and RVs.
Yeah.
With the number of
my
campers and RVs that are out at these fairgrounds, that's, if anybody's in that industry, we got some specials for you.
I'm amazed at some of the campgrounds I see at the fairgrounds and how packed they are.
Yeah.
$1,500 since July 1st, going for a purse of $1,000 and a blanket given in loving memory of Lonnie Miller. Number 1 is Time to Imagine, home with the Lucky 5 Stables LLC of Rockford, Ohio, trained by Henry Graber Jr., the driver Brad Ferguson. Number 2 is Dirty Ruby, home by Matt Rowe of Urbana, Ohio, trained by Mark Rowe, the driver Hank Levan. Number 3 is Rockin' Rusty, home by Carol Dean Bostel of Basic, Michigan, trained and driven by Skip DeMong. Number 4 is Old Joe, owned by Henry Graber Jr., Monroe, Indiana, trained by Henry Graber Jr., the driver Jay Cross. Number 5 is Cherokee's Gorgeous, owned by Indian Creek Farms of Wasantville, Indiana, trained by Lucian Bowl and the driver Ronnie Gillespie. Number 6 is Dirty Steve, owned by Matt Rowe of Urbana, Ohio, trained by Mark Rowe, the driver is Alex Hawk. And number 7 is This Time, owned by Hayter Stables LLC of Temperance, Michigan, trained by Greg Bateson, the driver Jennifer Main. Horses will take one long score and go to the gate and mute your windows, closing in 4 minutes. Hurry and don't be shut out. This is your final chance to wager this evening. There's Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering. And remember that post time on Thursday afternoon is 1 o'clock, 8 races featuring the Harvest Trot.
Isn't this the first drive that Alex Hawk has tonight?
Yes.
I thought so.
I think it's the first time I've seen him out there, yeah. It's a long way to drive.
For one race.
For one race. I think he does a lot of driving for the Rowe Stables. He's been driving Dirty Steve all season, it looks like, as far as we can see on the lines.
And I'm sorry, the 4-horse, I think gets the name instead of Buddy the Bookie. Old Joe.
Old Joe.
There you go. Old Joe.
Old Joe. How can you go wrong with Old Joe?
Yeah.
That's like your favorite uncle or something. The guy that comes over and drinks beer with you in the garage.
There you go.
Old Joe. Old Joe's coming over.
And if that stand was open, we'd get him a bratwurst to go with that beer.
We
wouldn't
would.
we?
We would.
Doggone it.
Yeah, you're a Wisconsin girl. You're all about the bratwurst and the beer.
That's right.
Right there.
Right
there.
There. Yep.
Closed up.
That's the one I told you about.
Closed.
Oh.
Now, see, that's
so
one
good.
of those that,
so good.
Hopefully they were watching the races and they heard us and they're on their way over.
Yes.
I'm sure they are, Frank. Yes.
I can only dream.
Dreams are free. A good friend of mine always tells me that dreams are free, Frank. You can dream all you want.
Let me out.
Yeah.
She's having a ball.
He's been playing in the dirt.
She's been here all night.
Oh.
Yeah, Mommy doesn't care if she gets all dirty.
No, that's what baths are for, right?
Yeah, when somebody else wants to just go home to her bed in her rib. Oh, but see, that's what makes this fun. The families, the kids that are out.
And you see that at a lot of fairs. Just the whole family will come out, set up their chairs, and have a good old time. We were talking about Bucyrus just a while ago. I noticed that a lot there. Just whole groups, whole family. Just that's their nightly entertainment.
Multiple generations.
Yep. They're all having a blast.
Yep. And what grandkids and grandmas and grandpas and the grandkids and everybody kind of just joins in and enjoys. The more we talk about it, this harness racing thing is really great, isn't it? I mean, holy mackerel.
It's pretty fun.
Families, fun, food, fairs.
We get tired, but it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, you get tired this time of the year. It's been a lot, but you still you don't want to not go.
No,
exactly.
No, you don't. Like I said, I grew up tagging along with my dad at Cider Downs, and that's where I fell in love with harness racing. I think I cashed my first ticket when I was 8 years old or something. Of course, Dad cashed it, but I picked the horse and I won, and boy, I thought that was the greatest thing in the entire world.
Did you get the money?
Yeah, I think so.
There you go.
Yeah.
You didn't have to go to college or anything, right? You just make all your money there.
I think I won like $3. Bought a hot dog with it.
Yeah.
I had a gentleman up in the stands as I was starting to pack some stuff up. He looked, he says, "I got a question, sir." I said, "Yes." He says, "Do you know where all those wires go?" I said, "Yep."
I'm not sure you do, Frank, really.
Frank does.
Okay.
Susan doesn't.
In my sleep, I know.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Recall lights are flashing.
Oh.
Looks like we had a horse refuse the gate.
We have a
There's one kind of going back.
We have a recall.
Oh, and I just happen to have all the reasons for recall.
Well,
in here.
what would be all the reasons for the recall, Susan?
Let me see if I can find my page. Because we had a recall, two recalls a while back, and Frank was saying, "Well, what are all the reasons?" And I went,
Now, had the stand still been open and I got there 2 minutes late, I would have not been happy with this recall.
Right, yeah,
Yes. That recall cost me a bratwurst.
The only thing worse than that is when there's a recall and then 5 minutes later it starts pouring down rain.
Oh.
Yes.
You're like, oh, come on. Why couldn't we have just gone?
Phil Peters going to race that.
So the reasons for a recall are a horse scores ahead of the gate, there is interference, a horse has broken equipment, which I don't see broken equipment anywhere. There is a malfunction of the starting gate, a horse falls before the word go is given, or a horse comes to the gate out of position. So those are the 6 reasons.
Not sure which one we had, but
I'm not sure, but I think in my years of doing this, I think I've seen every one of those.
Yes.
At some point.
Right.
You
Yep.
know, at some point, I've seen every single thing that you just rattled off.
Yep.
But
And it happens. I
Yeah, it
mean,
does. Things happen.
Just things happen, yes. Scoring ahead of the gate is scary.
it is. Yes.
I've seen that.
The interference when they start bumping into each other, that can be a little scary.
A horse comes to the gate out of position.
Right.
That's just somebody wasn't
Right.
thinking.
And again, like you said, things happen.
Yeah.
I don't know what day it is half the time. And, you know, you bring your horse up and you forget that you're the 6th horse.
Yeah.
You drop into the 5 hole.
Oops.
Said, oh, wait a second. That's not where you belong. Kevin Beckstead back there in the Webkenberg starting gate will get them all gathered back up again, and they'll give it another go. A little easier recall there, I think, because they really hadn't gotten going yet.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
I think, you know, and I don't know, maybe you know more about this than I do, but once they really get going and they're into the stretch, or you know, they're getting pretty close to speed.
Yeah.
And they have a recall. I would just always think that's got to be a little hard on the horses to bring it back down and then gear back up again.
Yes.
And, you know, the horses know they're on the gate. The gate's rolling. It's time to go.
Yeah, and I think especially with a younger horse, they have a hard time figuring that out in their head, why they couldn't keep going. You know, it used to be that you could have a recall for a breaking horse, but that's not true anymore.
Right.
I'm not sure when they stopped that, but
Dirty Ruby, Rockin' Rusty, Old Joe, Cherokee.
Looks like they're all going to line up correctly this time, and Bill Peters will have the call for us.
This time.
They're giving him a chance. He took him right to the back. He might not have.
Here they come. There, off and pacing the first horse away on the outside is Dirty Steve. Also on the move is Rockin' Rusty. He's moving in there third. That is Cherokee's Gorgeous.
Who is it? Four.
Heading down the backside, race over toward that quarter mile mark. That's Alex Hawk with Dirty Steve on the outside for the lead. After the second is Rockin' Rusty to really skip them all. Moving up third along the rail, that is Cherokee's Gorgeous with Ronnie Gillespie. Racing in there fourth, that is Time to Imagine, driven by Alex Ferguson. Fifth is this time, driven by Jennifer May. First quarter was paced at 27 and 1/5 seconds. Now taking over the lead is Rockin' Rusty. Coming back second is Dirty Steve. Racing in there third as the race down to the half. That is Cherokee's Gorgeous. Right there fourth. Now, Time to Imagine. Fifth is Jennifer May. And this time, racing sixth is Dirty Ruby. on the backside. That is Time to Imagine. And the rail fourth, that's Cherokee's Gorgeous. This time is racing fifth. Sixth, it is Dirty Ruby. 3/4 in 129. As they race around that upper turn to head for Vader, here comes Dirty Steve, watching it up on the outside before the ratio of Hawk and Rusty. And also climbing the outside comes Time to Imagine. As they race toward home, that's Rockin' and Rusty, Dirty Steve, and Time to Imagine. Rockin' Rusty in the rail on the outside, Dirty Steve. Rockin' Rusty and Dirty Steve. It's going to be Dirty Steve. Here they all go. Rockin' Rusty up for place of lead. And up for show was Time to Imagine, although it was close there between second and third. Mile in 2 minutes and 1/5.
2 minutes and 1/5 that you hear when they announced that first quarter 27-1. You could hear the whole crowd.
Everybody, you did. You heard a woo.
Yeah. Looked like Dirty Steve was the winner for Alex Hawk. And other than that, I don't know. I just
it was close at the end.
I was trying to find Dirty Steve's little sister, Dirty Ruby, and she was towards the end.
Is it really his little sister?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, really is. Really is. Half sister. But, that was quite a race. There's 2 horses pulled out in front and kind of gapped the field, and
the number 4, I'm not sure who that was, came galloping by.
yeah.
Old Joe.
Old Joe had a rough night. Yep. He had a couple other races. Yeah, 3 out of his last 6 starts that are in the program, he was making breaks.
And Dirty Steve and the family of Lonnie Miller for giving this blanket in Lonnie's memory.
Okay, we're going to have the judges are going to sort this out because it was tight. Not sure if they called for a photo or not, but it was. I would have called for a photo. It was too tight for me. What a great night of racing here at Van Wert. They do a really nice job with their presentation in the winner's circle and getting all the sponsors and everything. Roger Wilkin is kind of our go-to guy here, and he does a lot.
Great crowd again,
yep.
Out for the races.
12 from the top. Number 1, Time to Imagine was 3rd. Number 2, Dirty Ruby was 6th. Number 3, Rockin' Rusty was 2nd. Number 4, Old Joe was 7th. Number 5, Cherokee's Gorgeous was 5th. Number 6, Dirty Steve was a winner. Number 7, this time was 4th. Time of the first quarter was 27 1/5. The half was in 57 2/5. The 3/4 in 129, with a mile in 2 minutes and 1/5. From the top grade, 3, 6, 2, 7, 5, 1. 4 on the bottom, the mile in 2 minutes and 1/5. That concludes our racing for this evening. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out to enjoy the races this evening, and hope you all be back Thursday afternoon, 1 o'clock post time with 8 races.
We'll be here. Somebody will be here.
Somebody will be here. So I believe it'll be Doug Ballinger and Austin Scott doing the program, and probably Brad Conrad up here with them.
I don't know. Maybe I'll join. 2 of them can handle it, I'm sure. Don't know how that'll work out, but
a fun night, guys.
A fun night. Thank you.
Thank
you for letting me be a part of it.
You are always welcome to be a part of it anytime you want.
I hope I didn't embarrass the OHHA too bad.
Put it this way, if they keep letting Susan and I back out here, you got no worries.
Yeah. I don't know about that. You guys are the pros. I'm just a first timer here. I really enjoyed it. I appreciate you having me.
Well, glad to have you.
Glad to have you. It was a lot of fun. I see Frank was showing a picture of the babies going home, and I think it's time for us to go home,
I
too.
think so. You got that right.
So have a good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you back here at Van Wert on Thursday. Tomorrow, Canton and Findlay. Wherever there's racing, that's where we'll be.
And in the words of Roger Houston, if there's a county fair near you,
be there.
Yay.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
This has been Ohio County Fair Racing. Ohio County Fair Racing is brought to you by thestable.ca, the Ohio State University Veterinary Medical Center, Midland Acres, Cool Winds Farm, and Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Ohio County Fair Racing is a presentation of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association.